What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back to my banner review series. In this series I review a banner and tell you guys if it's worth something on that banner or not. I also tell you guys my raw opinion about these units and I try not to sugarcoat anything as my opinion might influence some people's decision to summon on the banner. So another summer banner was released, Nohrian Summer, which has got Female Corrin as a blue flying mage, Elise as a green tome user, Xander as an axe user, and Leo who can use red tomes. So let's begin with Female Corrin. She is the second flying mage in the game after Bunny Camilla, so she's a very valuable asset to Fire Emblem teams. She is a great offensive unit and her attack and speed are nice. They're not too crazy but they're good enough to make her a monster on a Fire Emblem team. Her bulk on the physical side is below average and on the magical side it's average with neutral IVs. She also has a really low HP stat, so she's clearly meant for offense. Her weapon is Sea Life Tome Plus, which grants allies who are within 2 tile radius +1 attack and +1 speed. The boost this tome gives isn't all that big and it's a spur boost, meaning that Blade Tome users will not be able to get too much out of this. However, if you have more units with this kind of similar weapon, then it can stack up because like I said, it's a spur boost. This weapon also has good synergy with Hun attack or even better drive attack as it can stack up with that, but other than that, this tome has a pretty lackluster effect. If it was at least +2 bonus, then it would have been much better. Her special is Dragon Fang, which has got 4 turn cooldown and gives her 21 additional points of damage when she triggers this if she has got neutral attack IV. Not really the best special, but since Quicken Pulse is a thing, it can be made into a 3 turn cooldown special, and since Corrin is decently fast, she will not have too much trouble charging the special as she will be able to double decent amount of units in the meta game. This special also gives her a very nice burst of power, which she might need at times for killing her targets. Her Slot A skill is a new skill which gives her +4 speed and +4 resistance when she initiates the combat. This is good for her as she's a pretty fast unit and she can run Desperation with this skill, but honestly Darting Blow is a much better skill and allows her to double way more units than this skill, and that can be the difference between a draw and Female Corrin killing them and winning the matchup, as she will have 40 speed with Darting Blow and neutral speed IVs, allowing her to double any unit that has got 34 or lower speed. The resistance bonus which this special gives is also nice for combating some high attack blue mages like Lind and Dalthea, and it also enables her to run Iceberg as she will have 30 resistance with the effect of this skill, but still Darting Blow is superior choice and allows her to kill more units and get more 1-round KOs. Fortify Flyers is her Slot C special, which is just perfect because she works at her maximum potential on a Fire Emblem team, so it's a good skill to have on a flyer. For skill inheritance, Bladblade Plus is her best weapon, but outside of Fire Emblem team, she will get outclassed by Bladblade plus Lind. But if you do not have Lind, then you can just run her with Blade Tome and she will do plenty of destruction. Life and Death and Darting Blow with Desperation are great options, and she's definitely a good unit to have if you do not have any kind of blue mage. And now I will tell you if she is good outside of a Fire Emblem team or not. So Dalthea, Reinhardt, and Lind will give her a run for her money as a blue mage, but she's on the same level as other blue mages who commonly run Blade Tome like May, Bunny, Lucina, and Bright Cheetah, so she can definitely be used outside of a Fire Emblem team and she can do a lot of destruction. And if you miss getting Bunny Camilla and if you want to build a Fire Emblem team, then you should definitely pull for her as she's an absolute monster on a Fire Emblem team, and most of the time she will not leave any kind of survivors on the battlefield after getting the boost from Hone Flyers and Fortify Flyer skill, because she will be able to double a lot of units and just kill them. So if you're a Fire Emblem enthusiast, then she's a must-have for all of the destruction she can do. Compared to Bunny Lucina, she's a much useful unit outside of a Fire Emblem team due to having higher base speed than Camilla, so overall she's a solid blue mage. Now let's move on to the best unit from this banner, Summer Elise. This time she is a green tome mage and she has got the highest base attack for any green mage in the game, and yeah, she does have a higher base attack than even Julia, so Elise has got incredible amount of nuking potential. She also has the second highest speed for a green mage after Nino, making her a very powerful offensive mage. However, it's worth noting that her resistance is the worst out of all of the top tier green mages like Nino, Sonia, Julia, and Soren, so she cannot really function as a magic check like them unless she's plus resistance IV. Her weapon is Hibiscus Tome, which works similarly to Corrin's Tome, and her assist skill is Rally Attack and Resistance, so she can provide more support to her teammates along with this skill and her Tome. And once again, the attack provided by the Rally skill and her Tome do stack up. It would have been perfect if she had Rally Attack and Speed instead, as it would directly stack up with her Tome. Her slot A skill is Speed and Resistance +2, which is not really that good of a skill considering Fury can be run on her, and her slot C skill is Green Tome Valor, which like any other Valor skill is absolutely incredible and invaluable and will help you a lot for building up your units. And even if you get a minus attack or a minus speed Elise, she's still worth training due to this skill, and you can use the skill to train up your other green mages. And since her best weapon is Ground Blade Plus, she definitely appreciates having the skill as it will make the process faster of building her up. Elise is a top tier unit and she's on the same level as Nino when they both run Ground Blade Plus, but in some cases Elise can be slightly better than Nino, only slightly by 3 or 4 matchups due to having higher base attack than Nino, but for the most part they are on the same level. For skill inheritance, you want to give her Blade Tome and an offensive skill like Fury or Life and Death, and then Desperation. Darting Blow and Desperation is also a good combo for her because her attack is already high, so all she needs is speed. She's definitely a very good unit to have, especially because of the Green Tome Valor skill, and she's also a top tier unit, so that's a bonus. And if you were unlucky to pull a bad IV 5-star Nino from the recent Hone Attack banner, then you can definitely pass on her Ground Blade Plus to Summer Elise if you happen to get an Elise with good or decent IVs. So let's take a look at the next unit now, and now we're going to be taking a look at Summer Xander. So this time he's an axe unit, and Xander is the only character in the game who can be a sword, lance, and an axe unit. His physical bulk is absolutely incredible, and he basically has the same defense stat as a fully armored unit Sheena. His speed is unfortunately average, so he's gonna be prone to getting doubled by a lot of units, and his attack is also not very high. He's going to get compared to Summer Tiki, who has got similar bulk to him but has got high attack stat. Comparing him to Summer Tiki is much better because she can hit very hard and she can run various sets. Also, Summer Tiki's weapon Melon Crusher Plus is just a much better weapon compared to Xander's, and Xander's weapon also works the same way how it does for all of the Nohrian Summer units, and his default special is Bonfire, which gives him 18 points of additional damage if he's neutral defense IV, and it's the perfect special for him. Getting a plus HP Xander is gonna be the best because both of his passive skills require him to have a high HP stat. Fire Boost gives him +6 attack when he has got 3 more HP than his opponent, and his slot C skill is Infantry Pulse. This is a new skill and basically gives the effect of Quicken Pulse to all of the infantry allies at the start of first turn if they have got 1 less HP than Xander. Keep in mind this only works on infantry units and not on armored, cavalier, or flying units. This skill is pretty insane for infantry units. When the description of this skill says that the effect will stack with similar skills, it means that it can stack up with killer or slaying weapons and Quicken Pulse. It does not mean that it can stack up with itself, so you cannot run this skill on multiple units and make a 4-turn cooldown special into a 1-turn cooldown special. And this is a really good skill even if you get a minus attack or minus speed Xander, as you can easily inherit this skill to any other high HP infantry unit, as this is a slot C skill, and slot C has got the most amount of flexibility out of the 3 slots due to the presence of limited good options, and Infantry Pulse is definitely an excellent option. Ward Out Plus users can benefit from this skill if they run Moonbow and Quicken Pulse, and if they do that, then on the first turn their Moonbow is always going to be ready. Units with slaying or killer weapons like Lucas can make Igneous into a 1-turn cooldown special if they run Quicken Pulse, so this skill is really good, and I hope that this skill is not locked to a limited edition unit. Xander can easily run HP +5 slot A skill and HP +3 Sacred Seal to have a lot more HP to make sure that he can activate this skill on all infantry allies even if you were unlucky to get a minus HP Xander. For skill inheritance, you can definitely run Fury or even HP +5 as slot A skill and Quick Repose because he's got a monstrous defense stat and he's slow, so he can definitely make great use of that. And Xander, like I said, does get outclassed pretty hard by some axe units when it comes to combat, and doing damage, but he can be a decent support unit with infantry pulse and a good enemy phase unit who can dispose of lance units with ease. Now let's move on to the last unit from this banner, Leo. He's a red tome unit and he's the only character in the game who maintains his original weapon type and color on a seasonal banner. His attack is fine, but his speed is below average, and that's not good when mages like Katarina, Celica and Tharja run the metagame for red tomes who all are fast. His speed really hinders him and his resistance is the only thing that will stand out to you when you look at his stats, but still, we already have some high resistance red mages like Sanaki and Katarina who can do the same thing but hit much harder in Sanaki's case and outspeed a lot of units in Katarina's case with Swift Sparrow, and his tome works the same way it does for all of the Nohrian Summer units. Iceberg is the perfect special for him because he has got the highest resistance for a red unit and the second highest resistance in the whole game. Seal resistance is a slot B skill which is not really that great of a skill and should be replaced with any other slot B skill like red tome breaker or green tome breaker, and his slot C skill is attack ply which can help him even further in tanking magical hits. I do think that Leo is the least impressive unit from this banner, however he does have a niche. He can be a ridiculous magic check by running Fury and Red Tome Breaker or Green Tome Breaker, and if he runs Red Tome Breaker then he will basically devour any kind of Tharja or Celica, as you can see by the calcs on your screen right now, and he can survive and kill these red mages even if Tharja is plus 10 merged with plus attack Ivy and is fully buffed by Erika or Ephraim, and if a plus attack Celica with Ragnarok's effect and Life and Death whose plus 10 merge attacks him, he will be able to survive and kill her back. He will die to a plus attack Death Blow Horse Emblem Leo, but if he gets the attack ploy on that Leo then he can definitely survive. If he decides to run Green Tome Breaker then he can even take on a plus attack plus 10 merge fully buffed Nino, and Green Tome Breaker is absolutely necessary here because otherwise if the Nino is in the desperation range then she will just kill Leo. Leo can also take on a fully buffed Fire Emblem Bunny Camilla and even a fully buffed Horse Emblem Cecilia, so Leo does have his niche even though he gets outclassed pretty hard by other red mages when it comes to offense, so it's up to your team's requirement if you want to run Green Tome Breaker or Red Tome Breaker. So now I will give my final verdict on this banner. I give this banner a rating of 8 out of 10. This banner gives us a solid high tier blue mage and a top tier green mage. I would say that the best mage out of this banner is Elise, then Female Corrin, followed by Xander and Atlas Leo. Only summon on this banner if you want a good blue mage or a green mage for your roster, and if you're aiming to get Elise then you'll be summoning on the green stones, meaning you might even get Xander who has got infantry pulse skill, and that's a good support skill and that could be great for your roster if you typically run infantry units on your teams, but do not exclusively summon to get that one skill from Xander. If you run a Fire Emblem team then you should definitely summon for Corrin, but if you cannot run a Fire Emblem team and if you already have a good blue mage like May, Lind, Bunny Lucina, Bright Cheetah or Reinhardt and Nino as your green mage, then you have little to no reason to bother with this banner unless you've got your reasons. And if you've got Nino then it's not really worth pulling for Elise, as like I said they are pretty much on the same level, and it's also easier to summon Nino because she can appear as a 3-star unit, so you can actually pick which Nino you want to build depending on her IVs and then promote her, or even use a heavily merged version of her at 4-star rarity, and you cannot do that with Elise, so you will have to hope that you can get Elise with good IVs. It's definitely not worth summoning for Leo, as if you really want a good red mage then I would suggest you to wait till August 11th as the next Tempest Trials will begin on that date, and it will have a banner which has got Celica, and Celica is a way better red mage than Leo. Not only that, but that Tempest Trial banner is amazing and I'd honestly rate it 9.5 out of 10 as it has got 3 top tier mages in Sonia, Dalthea and Celica, and it will be a much better banner than this. Not to mention, Hero Fest banner is also coming out on August 10th, which has got Ike, Julia, Ninian and Jenny with a boosted 5% rate of getting a 5-star unit. So you could just pass on this banner and save your orbs for those amazing banners with top tier units, and those banners will also have swapped rate for getting 4-star units, so it will be much easier for you to get Skeleton's fodder out of those banner. And I just want to quickly clear a misconception exception for people who are waiting until August 7th to summon on the Nohrian Summer banner and are waiting for swapped rates. So if you paid attention to the Faye channel livestream, then they clearly gave a disclaimer at the bottom that any banner which is released after 7th August will have the swapped rates for 4-star and 3-star units. So the Nohrian Summer banner is not going to be having the swapped rates for getting 4-star units even after August 7th. So very carefully assess if you want these summer units or not, as the upcoming 2 banners are filled with top tier units, and those units are extremely strong who influence the metagame. So my advice is to carefully spend your orbs and keep in mind that this banner does last for a month, so it's smart to summon on the Tempest Trial and the Hero Fest banner. And if you have any orbs left after summoning on those 2 banners, then you're free to try your luck on the Nohrian Summer banner, as you lose nothing by waiting to summon on the Nohrian Summer banner until the last week of August. So that's gonna conclude my banner review. If you enjoyed and if this video helped you with your decision, then please be sure to leave a like, as it helps me a lot, and share this video with all your friends who are thinking about summoning on this banner. So with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.